let's be real here. What the fuck did you expect? So I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV as of late, as you may have noticed. But for real though, I've been loving this game ever since I got back into it at the end of December of last year. And I'm going to make a little video showcasing just exactly why I like this game and why you should try it if you've never tried it before. Now you're probably saying to yourself, I've played other MMOs, why this one? And to that, I bring you two things. The story, which is surprising considering an MMO, and the content. By content, I mean the general progression of the game has to offer, and the way it keeps you engaged. Now, in any MMO, like any other game, it has to have some sort of substance so that it can keep you engaged with the game, or keep the player base alive. The substance comes along as duties, trials, and later on raids. Now duties, if you've ever played another MMO, are literally just dungeons. Though these things aren't new to the MMO formula, 14, or Realm as I like to call it, and I'm just going to keep calling it Realm from now on because it's just faster, does make it interesting. Aside from the story that is excellent, by the way, the duties, the roulettes, and all of the other little content pieced together throughout the story really makes the game and defines what Realm is all about. It took a lot of its ideas from World of Warcraft. Now, after playing World of Warcraft for many years, and if you've ever played it, you could tell that one dungeon was pretty similar to the next dungeon, with the only real defining dungeons being in the later on expansions. Now, mind you, I'm no WoW expert, and I don't claim to be, but from my experience, it was very stale and very samey. The layouts were different, the enemies were different, but as far as the fights went, it was you go here, you beat the boss, you leave. Now, one could argue that most MMOs pretty much run the same way, which you wouldn't be wrong, but Realm keeps you moving during a fight. For example, it introduces mechanics that makes you want to move a lot more as you're playing. Some of these mechanics are like the stack mechanics, which will put a marker on one of the characters where everybody has to pull in on this person, otherwise he takes a whole ton of damage, if not killing him outright. Or the AoEs, where a boss or an enemy will cast this cone, circle, depending on the shape, and if you don't step out of that, you take a debuff, or you take damage from it, and this keeps you very mobile. Now, in the endgame raids, it becomes really interesting because these areas will funnel you into very specific spots where if you don't get there in the right time, you're fucked. And then, of course, when you thought that it couldn't get any cooler, because, you know, you're moving around, you're beating people up, you're getting shit done, some bosses have certain mechanics, like Susano. Susanu? I don't give a shit how you fucking say it. Just goes out and does this cool shit. Yeah, that's in the game. It's fucking cool. Let me do it again. So not only do you have to stop it once, you gotta stop it twice. And then there's more to that fight. This is what I mean. This is the content that I want to do in this game. This is the stuff that I haven't seen in another MMO. The great part about Trials is that they have usually 3 difficulties. A regular version, an extreme version, and a savage version. It's only then that I realized that I didn't have any of the savageries, unlocked. But that's fine. That's just more content, right? This is where the end game really is. There's also an entire tier of rating called E, or just Eden. They just abbreviate it ES4, or depending on the stage that it is. But basically there's a certain tier that you have to work up, and you have to beat the other ones before you get to that point. And then people try to get rare weapons at the end. But this is where the end game is. It's having those really cool boss battles that have a ton of shit happening at the same time, and clearing them with 8 people. Not to mention that, did I ever tell you that this game is full of fucking boppers? 'Cause it does. Of course, while you're working your way up there, you're going to see certain interactions or certain characters, or even like Sasquatch, for example, right here, that are just little Easter eggs and little nods to the players just for the fun of it. I know that the translation team has a whole ton of fun making a bunch of puns with the quest names, and you should probably keep an eye for that. But, yeah, it's just it's a fun game, dude. Like, shit. Though I've been focusing on the combat of the game, considering that you had to do a lot of it, there's still a lot of things to do besides that. Such as chocobo racing. We have multiple classes that you would consider professions in World of Warcraft, for example, like botanary, mining, blacksmithing, all those, right? And all those counts as classes. Yes, you did hear me. Those are classes. You just can't take them in combat. But it's still a viable thing to do in-game. There's still an avenue for people who just want to be like, oh, I just want to do gathering. Well, you can still do that. Or I just want to do crafting. Well, you can do that too. And there's still a lot to explore on that end as well. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. That being said, there's a lot to uncover in this game, considering that the free trial for the game has been revamped ever since Stormblood, which doesn't give you a time limit anymore. You should probably check it out. You can do a lot of things just with the demo, but experience it for yourself. That said, thank you for watching, and thank you for giving this video a try. It's not something that I'm very used to doing, and it took me a whole long time to do it, but I wanted to post something on my channel that wasn't entirely a meme or something overly emotional. This game has been an absolute blast for me, and I want other people to experience it if they want something new. And considering the stance of the game that it is in right now, I think it's a perfect time to get started and, you know, start playing the game, getting into it, and really experiencing what it is. So, I'll see you guys around. All this footage was also captured, or most of it was captured on stream, though if you want to see me go through levels 1 to 80 through the entire story and every expansion, then you should probably catch me on Twitch. I'll put a link down in the description below, and I'll see you guys out there. Take care. Could have swore I had something to do right now. I can't put my finger on it, though. Wasn't I supposed to do dungeons with my friend? Where's Pascal? What? Well, shit.